Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Geo-Institute annual business meeting. It's wonderful to see you all here. And I'd like to first take a minute to introduce our board. Sorry about that. So we've got, I'm the president this year. We've got Susan Burns as the vice president. Anand Pupala is our treasurer. Jihan is our immediate past president. Brad Keelor is the secretary and GI director. Jared Green, Katerina Zgiotopoulou, Lucky Nagarajan, and John Foltz are all our governors, with John as ASCE appointee. And our Geo-Institute staff that make everything happen behind the scenes and out in front at Geotechnical Frontiers, as we just saw. We've got Brad again, Aurora, Christina, Tatiana, Lucy, and Elizabeth, all working to serve your institute and to serve you as members. Now I'd like to take a minute, if you don't know, where we all come from, that the ASCE is the mothership, but there's 9 institutes. So we all have our own shields. We're the Construction Institute, COPRI, the Geo-Institute, EWRI, EMI, the AEI, SEI, Structural Engineering Institute, T&DI, and UESI, as well as another committee on technical advancement. So we're one of many, and we're going to talk a little bit later about a time when we're all going to be coming together here in the future. Not only are there technical divisions in the ASCE, but there's also geographic regions. And you can see here there's 10 different regions. Regions 1 through 9 are in North America. And then region 10 are all 30 sections that are outside the Americas. Okay, and now we'll have Susan talk about GI membership.
Great, thank you, Helen. So with that, we're very happy to report that our membership is very robust. These numbers are a little bit dated, but what you'll see here is that our current level is at about 13,000 members. Our membership primarily is composed of private engineering firms. Then we have folks coming from academia, included students and professors. And then the remaining percentages of our memberships come from government, contracting, and suppliers and equipment firms as well. So if we move on, then what we will see in the next slide.
Coming up, Susan, hold on. Okay, there we go.
Oop, I think we skipped one, Helen, if you could back up.
I think there's a delay and I need to be more patient.
I think we need the board level committees.
I know, sorry, it's not transitioning. All right, how about you talk about this one and then I'll switch back to board.
Sounds good. So these are our technical committees, and these are essentially the heart and soul of the Geo-Institute. So what you'll see here are the folks who get things done in terms of creating and delivering the technical content, which is really what we're here and what we're all about. So you can see also that we've got a range and a variety of different interest areas. So these folks are coming in from a big range, from practice all the way through some very, very theoretical and very cutting edge work that we're doing all the way across the discipline. Definitely these committees are always looking for volunteers. So if you're interested, please reach out to the committee chair and put in an application and look forward to joining to contribute to the great work that's being done in these committees. In addition to our technical committees, we also have board level committees as well. If we can see if this,
I don't know if I'm frozen or what. Okay, I'm going to try to unshare and see if that helps. All right, Susan, I think I'm ready now.
There we go. beautiful, thank you. So on the board level committees, these are the committees that are looking at the overall picture. So these are major programmatic activities within the Geo-Institute, and they oversee technical activities, the bigger scale picture as well. So you can see these are things like the awards committee, international activities, local involvement committee. So these are, say, systematic level committees overseeing bigger operational issues as well too. So in these committees, you can see there's a range of different activities reaching out to all different aspects. And again, we are looking for nominations to serve on board level committees at this time as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Lucky, can you talk about our strategic plan?
Yes, definitely. Thank you everyone for being here. This is the GI strategic plan from 2023 to 27. GI vision is the Geo-Institute will guide the geo professions to the new frontiers to better serve society. And our mission is actually to advance the geo profession and enhance the value of geo professionals itself. This year, for the next 2023 to 2027, we have recognized and identified 4 goals that are very important to the board and also important to our members. The goal 1 basically is to promote value and leadership of geo profession in public policy, professional practice, and project decision making. And you will see goal 2, goal 3, and goal 4. Where goal 2 is technical and career opportunities for members, and goal 3 and goal 4 is basically to promote new technologies and innovations, which we are heading towards that, and also to deliver value to our members.
All right, sorry, Lucky, this having trouble here steering through this, but if you could talk about our governing documents.
Yes. So as you know, GI also has the bylaws and policies and procedures manual that supports the bylaws. And this can be found on geo-institute.org. This is available for anyone that is interested in knowing more about how GI works and their bylaws and policies and procedures. You can go up there and then find, and if you have any questions, you can definitely email back to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Lucky. And Jared, before you talk about our board priorities, I neglected to introduce 2 people who are joining us today. One is Karen Cabas. She is our Technical Region Board of Governors Director. And the other one is Ellen Rathje, our International Secretary. So thank you both for joining us. All right, Jared, go ahead.
So on the screen here, you'll see the board priorities for this current year. And some of this is a continuation of what we've been working on kind of running up to the year 2024-2025 session. But the workforce development and retention, recognition of voluntary service, international involvement, and really bolstering that and looking for more opportunities to collaborate internationally. Focusing in on innovation that's happening within the geo profession, a focus on our younger member involvement, and of course, making sure that we ensure that we have Geo-Congress legacy continuation of it. And just to kind of narrow down and put a fine point on this, the workforce development is something that we're very proud of that we just have recently started. And we saw that there were a lot of different groups throughout the industry that are working on similar aspects. We said, why don't we find a way to kind of spearhead an opportunity for us all to work together? So we joined with several partner organizations to really look at how we can promote the geo-profession industry. We shared stories about what drew us into the geo-profession, and we held a workshop last summer to brainstorm and collaborate. And since then, we've been having regular touch points to just see what we can do to help one another so that everyone knows about the great work that we're doing as geo-professionals. Continuing along, one of the things we're very proud of is the GI President's Award. This is an opportunity to recognize exemplary contributions to the success of GI through service to the Institute. These are folks that have been doing a great job that we haven't really had the opportunity to say thank you to. And in 2025, the President's Award went to Jim Withiam and also Krista Keogh for their outstanding contributions to GeoStrata. So every time you open the GeoStrata, let's make sure we say thank you to folks like this.
Thank you, Jared. Anand, if you could talk about our next initiative of innovation.
Thank you, Helen. Innovation is a board level committee. One of the reasons when we started this board level committee is really looking at how to promote innovation through committee activities to advance our geo profession. We are hoping this kind of innovation will increase the impact and influence of GI by embracing and implementing all the new technologies that are developed in the design, construction, maintenance, and hazard reconnaissance works like remote sensing. So this is a very important committee, and we do also encourage recognize innovation in geotechnical research and practice. So right now we created an award which is for any innovation that is in the materials area, technology area, or any construction means and methods, and new project delivery methods. So this is open to all our GI members working in academia to practice. So we're hoping we will start giving these innovation awards in the coming year. Slide. The other one is also we have a GI Younger Members Committee that just started in Geo-Congress 2024. Again, we want to thank Melissa for her excellent service with this committee. We just have a new YMC leadership will be confirmed soon and will be announced also very soon. And we do want to mention that new Younger Member session was held at the Geo Frontiers with the intimidating judges. It was again a very wonderfully attended session, and with the participants were recognized at the podium also later at the board level podium. So again, we want to say thank you for this Younger Members Committee for their services to our profession. And we're gonna be, I think you all be receiving this call already for the call for nominations. One is again, we are looking for candidates for GI Board of Governors. And also we are also looking for memberships in GI Board Level Committee. The deadline for this nomination submission is in April 4th, 2025. We hope that you either nominate yourself or nominate somebody that you think is a well-deserving candidate for these board level committees and also Board of Governors. Thanks,
Anand. And we've endeavored to make that an easy process. So it's a relatively simple application, a form that you fill out on the Geo-Institute website. So please, I encourage you and your fellow members to think about serving in these positions. Okay, Katerina.
Hello from me as well. If you are a GI member, you will definitely know about our annual GI family reunion, which is the Geo-Congress. This is a fabulous picture from the one held in Vancouver back in 2024. Okay, so this is a long-standing business for us, for the Geo-Institute. We typically we may partner with other institutes or organizations, as you see here in the slide. For example, the Vancouver Geo-Congress I mentioned for last year was a partnership with the Canadian Geotechnical Society. And in this slide, you can see various highlights from the years. The numbers in red are the Geo-Congress from this year, which was Geotechnical Frontiers and Geo-Environment and Geo-Congress, and then some exciting events are coming up in 2027, 2028, 2030, and 2031. This slide is covering a little bit of the financials because it's important for a membership to know that Geo-Congress is one of our main sources of income for the Geo-Institute. And you can see that over the years, we have had great success in getting some good revenue into the GI. And then, of course, this aspect together with the next slide as it's covering the attendance, we'll have to do a little bit with the location and the types of partnerships we have. So as promised, here's the slide on the attendance over the years from 2019 and on. You can see the numbers are fluctuating a little bit, but we're always getting great success in getting our members together from academia, from practice, and we always strive to have great attendance from students as well. A timeline of the attendance through the years, and you can see here a little bit the peaks and troughs over the years. And some of the collaborations with other institutions and how those may have affected the numbers that you see on the slide. Okay, so what does Geo-Congress entail? Just in case you haven't attended, it's we typically start on a Sunday, we finish on a Wednesday, and it's just an exciting 3.5 days of student competitions, lots of award lectures that are presented across these 4 days. We feature technical presentations and of course posters in the exhibition hall, which also hosts the typically more than 120 exhibitors. We have also become infamous for our GeoPit talks, which are 10-minute talks on timely and exciting issues, always delivered by very engaging presenters, and we always strive to address both the practitioners and the academics, and while always combining it with a lot of fun. Apart from the Geo-Congress, the Geo-Institute has a plethora of regional conferences. You can see a list here. Definitely not exhaustive from the various local chapters, the number of attendees that they attract, and the exhibitors we will typically find in those locations.
Thanks, Katerina, very much for recapping all of that. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something exciting you may have heard is coming in the future, and that is ASCE 2027. And this is going to be the first time that all of the ASCE institutes are invited to come together and have their annual congresses together. And it's going to be in Philadelphia. Mark your calendars, February 28th to March 5th. We're familiar with it, right? We were there in 2029 for Geo-Congress. And you'll notice the logo here is meant to be a compilation of all the different shields that we saw earlier. And so you may have some doubts. I was a little bit skeptical myself, but in hearing more about the planning that's going on, I think it's going to be a great event. And it's actually going to give us a chance as the Geo-Institute to showcase some of the things that Katerina just highlighted about what makes a Geo-Congress. So I'm excited for that. So as I said, the first time ASCE's institutes, the CTA also come together. Not only will you have the programming you can expect, but there's going to be some cross-cutting programming that ties together several different institutes and should have a broader audience. And just a little snippet of something, which is the exhibit hall. And this is kind of cool. You'll notice that we've got the GI hub here right near the competition area. You've got hubs for the other institutes. So this will give us a chance to, mingle around outside of our institute, but still do the things that are really important to us. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ellen to talk about international involvement.
Great, thanks, Helen. I want to talk to you a little bit now about our international activities that we organize through the Geo-Institute in partnership with the International Society for Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering. I am the International Secretary for the Geo-Institute, so I'm the liaison with the International Society, but we also have the Vice President from North America, Walter Paniagua, who comes from Mexico, and Jennifer Nix, who's the chair of our International Activities Council. I think there's another slide coming. There we go. So the way this works is that the Geo-Institute is the national society representing the United States for the international society. So you can think of ISSMGE as a collection of national geotechnical societies. As a Geo-Institute member, you can opt to pay $25 annual dues during your renewal for your ASCE membership. That makes you a member of the international society. And those dues help pay for international conferences, student and young professional opportunities, and various technical activities. So, and if you would like to support, in addition to your dues, you can support the other activities of the ISSMGE through its foundation, which you can find details at their website. Now, the GI-ISSMGE relationship started with, first of all, the ISSMGE started being established in 1936 by Terzaghi and Casagrande. We were one of the original 95 national member societies. The ISSMGE has a conference every 4 years, and that will be coming up in 2026. And then in off years, regional conferences are scheduled, so every 2 years. So kind of there's a two year cycle: international conference, regional conference, international conference. Our region is considered the Pan American region, which includes North and South America, and it rotates among member societies in the Americas. In 2024, just this past fall, we were in Chile for the Pan American Conference, and in 2028. It will be the first time since 2003 that we, the US, will host the Pan American Conference. So we will be thrilled to host you and all of our Pan American colleagues in Chicago, which I'm very excited about. Believe it or not, I've flown through Chicago, but I've never actually been to Chicago, never had a meeting in Chicago. So I'm super excited about this. And so it will take place, mark your calendars, March 26th through 29th in 2028. And what can you look forward to? Well, first of all, this will be a combined Geo-Institute or Geo-Congress and Pan American Conference. So it's going to be in the great city of Chicago, 4 days of fun with this broader geotechnical community. We'll have all our, regular things like Brad playing, hockey with some sort of mascot. We'll have folks very rapt listening to the great award lectures. Our student competitions, great food, great camaraderie. So it really will be just like a Geo-Congress on steroids. And so we will see you there in 2028.
Thank you very much, Ellen, and thanks for all your efforts as International Secretary. Next, John, can you talk about our organizational membership?
Sure, thanks, Helen. So the Geo-Institute has over 70 organizational members now, and if you're interested, we'd love to have you join as your organization as well as yourself. One of the things that we do is give out travel grants. Last year we had 131 applicants for students to come, and gave out 41 travel grants of $300 each. So over $12,000 was given to the students so they could make it there. So that's a great way to get students involved. Another thing, some of the other benefits that you get being an organizational member, you get some reduced fees at some of the national events. You get your name put in the GeoStrata, as well as some discounted advertising. You also get the opportunity to serve on the organizational member council and be heard by the Geo-Institute. You also get discounts at the publications and things like that. And also you get to come to Geo-Congress and be part of the exclusive organizational membership event that not everybody gets to go to. So, feel free to contact Jeff, Brad, or any of us board members, and we'll get you signed up. Some of the local activities here, the graduate students, there's 41 different organizations, there's over 64 chapters. So a lot of activities bringing everybody together with the with this.
Thanks, John. G, can you talk to us about the local GI?
Yes, local involvement committee is very important for GI. They manage 10 regional, they have 10 regional representatives as a liaison to like 64 GI chapters. As you know, the GI chapters really is the grassland of GI. And only about like 10% of our GI members did not have opportunity to attend the Geo-Congress. But really, most of the GI members attend the event organized by local chapters. This is why it's very important. We have the largest chapter like this here, like Seattle and the Met section and Delaware Valley and Los Angeles. And we organize national chapter summit for chapter leader to exchange ideas. How do we, better serve the local members? And the local involved committee also take a lead to identify the cross-USA lectures. And the ongoing one is given by Professor Richard Butler. The next one will be given by Carlos Santmarina from Georgia Tech. But as you know, the student program is also very strong, very active. We have the graduate student organizations. They manage the competitions like GeoWall, GeoPrediction, GeoPoster, GeoVideo, GeoShoots. And we also provide some travel grant for students to go to attend the Geo-Congress. As you see here, all the activity going on, we have about like 400 students at Geo-Congress. That's very important, but at the same time, we need the money to support them. But we do have the student participation fund, basically subsidize the student travels. But it is very important, and that's fine, to basically raise money to support our students. And there's opportunity for our members to make contributions. And the one you see here, basically this is a raw pack, a bobblehead, and you can basically make donation $96 to get this very special limited edition GI gift. But we are very lucky and also thankful for Professor John Rubria and his wife as he provide the student fund for the endowment campaign. And we like our member to participate, and then we get the matching fund from John Wu and his wife. And this will provide a great opportunity for our students. And here, basically, we're running matching opportunity over the next 3 years. The 100% the money we receive will provide to the students for their activity. Thank you for those already made donations. And for those you are thinking about support students, please do so. Thank you.
Thanks, G. Back to Jared to talk about board certification.
Yes, geotechnical board certification is something that if you haven't considered doing it, we strongly advise that you do it. This is important for the elevation of our profession and, again, increasing the awareness and also acknowledging the great work that you are doing as geoprofessionals. So at the recent Geo Frontiers in Louisville, CEC was honored to have board certified geotechnical engineer Sebastian Loboguero speak about the value of geotechnical board certification during the plenary session. And he looked at it as not just an essential step for the engineering career, but it showcases one's technical expertise, leadership skills, and the commitments to ethics and ongoing professional development. So if you'd like to learn more about board certification, you can go right on the website and it provides information regarding what the requirements are and how to go about doing that process.
Thanks, Jared. And let's see, another thing that I'd like to share is about an example of a volunteer activity that you can undertake. And this is one of the things that is wonderful about the Geo-Institute is the number of people that volunteer their time and their technical knowledge to contribute to the industry. So, for example, the Geo-Institute and the Structural Engineering Institute have been working together to develop the ASCE Foundation Design Standard. So it will follow ASCE 7, and it will be foundation focused. Just one example of one of the many things that's going on. Okay, and Anand, can you talk to us a little bit about IDEA and what that is?
Thank you, Helen. So IDEA is an extension of the innovation. So IDEA encourages the development and deployment of ERS, which is again Earth Retention System technologies. So in collaboration with Federal Highway, which funded around 50K online SharePoint platform for electronic application and evaluation, as you can see here on the right side, the screenshot of the whole program. So GI manages evaluations with the program administrator and also lead consultant and 3 supporting consultants to conduct these evaluations. And again, these are for academics and devotees to review the evaluation report. They did complete a demo in 2018 and reported a post on the GI website, which you can access from the website on the right side. So 11 of them are completed, 4 others in pipeline. Again, Earth retention systems technologies are like almost, I see a lot of new things coming up, new technologies, new way of AR, VR simulations, now using AI to design Earth retention systems. So a lot of things are coming out on these technologies. So we hope this idea will be used by our members. Next one. This is one of my popular interest in my teaching my classes on geotech tools. So geotech tools is, I think many of you already are familiar with them. It's just as a toolkit of various geotechnical, test design methodologies, and then that will give you different, if I want to do a ground improvement, what are different toolkits that you need it, and then you can develop them, and then you can do some cost analysis to do the decision making. So this will go all the way from planning to design to construction. So geotech tools is a must, in my opinion, for many geotechnical practitioners to learn and then see what is out there. Again, I challenge sometimes in my project works in my classes how to use these toolkits to come up with various methods. So again, these are available at your fingertips. You should be able to collect them. You should be able to use them. You should be able to do a lot of cost analysis and other types of works. Over to you, Helen. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand. And Susan, can you tell us about GeoStrata?
Yes, thanks. So one of the great things about our community is the way that we can do outreach and connect across a variety of different media. And GeoStrata is certainly one of the jewels that we have. We know that this is a bi-monthly magazine featuring some really great high quality feature articles across a big range of different topics. So Jim and Christy do a great job of putting content together and planning far in advance and bringing in a really big range of different parts of our community. So definitely keep up with what's going on in GeoStrata. If you have ideas for content, if you think there's something that would be interesting and you'd be interested in contributing, please reach out to Jim, and he's got some great ideas to go forward, but always looking for new ideas as well too. We are also very active in social media, and you can see here just some snapshots of the things that are always on tap going forward. Great outlet for different things, going all the way from LinkedIn to Director's Cut. Brad's always got something brewing in the background, so definitely keep up with this. Follow us on all the social media outlets that we have going. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Susan. And now to Brad to tell us a little bit about GI finances.
I don't know if this is the plum assignment or not. So as members, you guys should know what's happening with GI's financial picture. Despite what you may think, we're not a $50 million a year organization. GI revenue and expenses are generally a little over $2 million. This is a big difference than about 10 years ago. We've effectively doubled the size of the GI budget over the past, I guess, 7 or 8 years. We do have some peaks and valleys in this, and that's mostly because of what Katerina spoke about earlier when we talked about the partnered conferences. The GI budget essentially has 3 or 4 ways to make money. We have a little more than that, but there are 3 big ones, and that's membership, journals,
and conferences. So those are an outsized part of both our revenue and expenses. In the years where we have a partnered event, like fiscal year 25, you see that big dip right there. That's because we don't have the typical expenses that we would have for Geo-Congress. Generally speaking, we try to provide all the member services that we can every year and put a little bit of money in the bank so that we have it to use either for a year when things don't go as planned, or if we want to institute some additional programs, that we've got the money in our reserves to be able to do that. So if we go to the reserves slide, you can see where we are there. We almost went down to zero with our reserves the last few years, which is not where you want to be. So we have a more active role, a more active approach toward building these reserves up in the next few years. And that's that upward trajectory you see there at the end of this graph. I think that, yeah, now that takes us right into questions. You can ask about finances. You can ask about conferences. You can ask about anything else. While we're sitting here waiting for the questions to come in, which I will also say, you can put them in the chat box to the right of the window where you're watching this, and you can literally ask about anything. We will happily answer. Well, I did run a poll during the slide presentation, and I ran a couple polls. One of the questions was, are you a GI member? And a couple of people, I don't know if they were being snide or not, said that they needed to be persuaded to be a GI member. So I'd like to ask the group, if you had to do a sales pitch for becoming a Geo-Institute member, what would you tell somebody? And anybody can take this.
Okay, I'm going to start, Brad. I think that the best thing about the Geo-Institute is that there's something for everyone. So you can get involved to the limits of your time, or just a little bit to start. And you could get involved, as you saw, you could get involved locally, you could get involved nationally. You can do things like volunteer with students. You can be a liaison to a university. And if you've seen any of the things that are up on YouTube, you can use all kinds of talents to bring forth interest in the geo profession, which I think is so important, and that's really the shared passion that we all have, is being part of this community together. It's a fun community. It can be quirky. We think we are funny only to ourselves probably, but there's so many ways you can get involved. So we'd love to have you join.
Anyone else want to chime in? Add anything to Helen?
I'll jump in. I think we get such access to amazing technical content, and I've had the opportunity to work with just amazing people as part of the GI. It's been really one of the great joys of my life.
Anybody else want to add?
I'll try one. I mean, to me, it goes without saying, you work somewhere, you belong to a company or to a university, you do this type of job, you're a geotechnical engineer, you have to be a member of the GI. I mean, you have to meet your fellow colleagues no matter where they work. What you make from it, I mean, there's the plethora of functions that we do. That's what we're here to present. What you can contribute, plenty of things. I cannot imagine that anyone, for example, here in the San Francisco Bay Area has not attended a single event of the SFGI. Yeah, become a member.
Anybody else want to add? And everybody, you can turn your cameras on now that it's Q&A time. Let's blow them away with our beautiful faces here.
John and
networking has been amazing at all the events that we host and that I've been to. It's just, and the people you get to rub elbows with, it's just amazing. It's so much fun, and a lot of knowledge out there that you can pick up on these from these meetings and stuff.
Yeah, just to add to that, I would say, it's a happy place. When you go to conferences, you can see that, people are so happy to be with GI family. you get to meet people not just nationally but internationally who like to get involved and like to get to know you. I would say this is a platform where you can, grow yourself, grow with others, and help others grow as well. So definitely you have to be part of GI family.
We do have a question in the chat, and I'm happy Melissa was watching because she's always good for one of these every year. So Melissa Beauregard out there asks, are the current board priorities in the presentation listed in order of priority, or are they being worked on with the same level of priority? What 1 to 2 items on the list do we see as the most important?
Thanks, Melissa, for that challenging question.
I mean, it was actually more than one, so,
Yes, I think, well, I'll speak for myself that, to me, younger members are very important. And I'm not just saying that to you, Melissa, as the outgoing chair of the committee, but I think it's really important for younger members to feel comfortable and find a place and to have a connection outside your cubicle or outside, sometimes you're spending a lot of time out in the field and working behind a drill rig or watching micropiles getting installed. And even though all of that is wonderful, it can be isolating. You can sort of feel distant from your community, especially after going through college and graduate school. It can, feel a little bit solitary. So for me to find people who had the same vocabulary and similar interests and similar, technical, interests and excitement about those things was wonderful. So the sooner we can expose younger members to that and they feel like there's a place for them, and even if they haven't presented a paper before, which leads into something that the Younger Member Committee just did, and we mentioned in this presentation, but it was a chance for a dedicated session of Geotechnical Frontiers to feature younger members, to have judges, and then to let the winning presentation be part of the plenary session the next day. What an amazing experience. So that is one of my highest priorities. And then international involvement. I got to go to Chile, as Ellen mentioned, for the Pan American Conference. I mean, I can't even tell you how amazing it was, how welcoming they were, and how cool it was to be on a panel with people speaking 3 different languages and, to have the translation in your earbud coming in real time so that we could all communicate. I mean, it was fantastic. So for me, those are the top 2, but I'm sure other board members have other priorities. If you want to chime in, guys.
I echo what you said, Helen, about the outreach to the international members. So this is one of the things. I'm an international student when I joined here. Ever since I joined the ASCE GI, I did not miss a single conference. I'm very, very proud of it. I learned all my everything. I'm owed to the Geo community, Geo-Congress. The conferences are fantastic for growth of you professionally, and also make friendships. And also the friendships are networking is really strong. So I really think, I mean, the international members, we are embracing them. And also, like I think, Helen, you said, the younger members. So we have a lot of competitions, and now other societies are actually mimicking them. So that shows that, like, geo-wall competition. I mean, even if I have some other work, I like to be there at least for a few minutes at the geo-wall. The whole energy there is different. So I really think these are like important activities, and also technical program. And I know we work a lot. I know Brad spends a lot of time on the reviews and everything. And then I just got today the review for the Geo Extreme. So yeah, we all have to help with our society. And I hope with the continuation of this strong technical program, we will attract more and more audience in the coming years.
I think this is a great segue to talk a little bit more about international stuff. And Ellen, I know that I feel like we've talked about this question 6,000 times in the past year, but it doesn't hurt to do it once more for maybe a little bit of a different audience. I think the question is an easy one. Why should people join ISSMGE? And then the more specific one after that is, why should our practitioner members join ISSMGE?
Well, I think part of the reason people join the GI is to learn what our colleagues are doing in geotechnical engineering, but that learning doesn't end at our borders. There's so much to learn from researchers and practice in so many different countries. And that really is what the International Society allows us to do. So what are they doing in Europe and Asia, South America? And what can we learn from them, and how can we expand our knowledge into these other countries as well as developing countries? So there's a lot of opportunities through international societies, and the only way to become a member of the International Society is first to become a member of the Geo-Institute, and then join the International Society when you're joining ASCE. It allows you to be appointed then to technical committees, because the International Society has 30 plus technical committees. So you can participate in those various type of technical committees. And those technical committees are split into, committees that are more based on fundamentals, but also practical applications and broader issues. So you can find the type of work that you're interested in and collaborating internationally on to work through there. So the technical committees, and then of course the international conference and regional conferences allow you to interact with your international colleagues. Again, practitioners as well as researchers. So much to learn, just broaden your horizons.
I like that. We actually have a couple of more questions in the chat, and Intisar, I'm going to get to you, but we have one specifically about ISSMGE right now. Can current graduate students join the ISSMGE, or do they have to wait until they have a professional job in a related field after graduation?
Oh, that's a great question. There is no limit. If you are a GI member, you can join the International Society. There's a younger members committee, just the same way that the GI has a young members group, so does the International Society. There's lots of opportunities for funding for students to go to these conferences. So if you would like to go to the international conference, or you have a paper at the Pan American, you can submit an application to get some of your travel reimbursed. So there are a lot of opportunities for students, not only practicing engineers and academics.
Very good. I like that. So now we go. Melissa had a question in there, and she's the initial chair of the younger member committee. Now we go to the first full-fledged chair, Intisar Ahmed. I understand you and other related organizations are focusing on talent retention in the profession. Are you able to share some ideas that have been discussed on how to improve in that area?
Yes, I can start there. So as we said, it's not a unique challenge to us, and it's workforce development, to use that broad term, is occurring in the trades as well. So on our construction sites, in our universities, from professors to graduate students to undergrads. And as we've talked and brainstormed, one of the things that seemed to come to light is that there's not always a direct path for people into the geo profession. It's often a meandering path that hinges on a particular person you met or a conversation you had. And, it seems like we could try to increase the instances of that happening and try to be a little bit more active in seeking people out. Well, how do we do that, you say? It strikes me that if I, talk to some of the other parents at the bus stop, most of them wouldn't know what a geotechnical engineer is. It's funny, the reactions you get from, oh, I guess somebody's got to do that, kind of thing, or, oh, wow, yeah, so probably rocks and soil, there's really, it's a mystery to people, I think, what we do, the science and engineering part of it. And I think we need to change that. I think we need to make it more of a household thing. Studies show that children tend to, emulate what they see or get an idea of what they want to be when they grow up in as early as 4th grade. And that 4th grade to 6th grade might be the sweet spot. It might be after that, but we want to be more visible. And so one of the things that we're doing in TESAR is joining the Geo Coalition, a group of other similar organizations to ours, is going to pool our resources. And we're talking about some kind of ad campaign that is more upfront, that is bigger, that, we're going to use a professional marketing team that can help us come with the right pitch, like a got milk type of simple but effective pitch to try to elevate our profession and get it out on the media, where we're going to find young people that are going to watch it and be interested in little bite-sized pieces, not long videos, but 20-second videos, and just to try to make our profession more accessible and more well-known. So it's a grand scheme, but that's one of the things that we're working on. And but there's also lots of other little things you can do as well, right? Be talking about it to people, invite your young neighbors and children's friends to come to your office for the day, or come shadow you, see what you do, talk about it a lot, which is what I do. And so, yeah, those are some of the things that we're working on. Thanks for asking. I think it's a very worthy cause.
I want somebody to talk a little bit more about certification before we wrap this up too. So I know we have a number of BCGEs here in the room, as it were. So I don't know who wants to start that, because that's another question we get, especially when we go out to the local events, and those are more practitioner heavy. That's a community who's very interested in this, but doesn't always know why they should do it. Why should people become board certified? Helen could do that one too, but somebody else want to take it?
I would say, why not, right? I mean, when you look at the requirements, if you have your master's degree and you've been working for some time, you have your engineering license, this is an opportunity to kind of get the stamp of, am I muted? Oh, okay. It's like the opportunity to get the stamp of approval from the industry, And I think that as you start to, advance in your career and, you become more of an outward facing person in your respective organization or within the industry, it's a good thing to be board certified. So I would say that if you qualify for it, if you've been in the industry long enough, I think it makes sense to do it. I think it's more of a question of why not do it.
Any other BCGEs want to chip in on that one?
Yeah, I'll say that, we have other milestones, right? We've got different degrees, higher education, which are meaningful. And then we've got the PE or PG, of course. But then after that, there's not much. Yes, you could become an ASCE fellow and other honors like that. But as far as a practicing engineer and somebody saying yes, vouching for you basically, and saying this person knows what they're talking about, I would bring them in on a project if I were you. That's the equivalent. It's another stamp of approval that maybe not everyone knows about it, but then they ask about it and say, what are all these letters after your name? And then you can explain it. Well, this is a certification. And I really do think the new nomenclature was a good move to change to that board certified geotechnical engineer, because again, for the average person, this makes sense. Oh, they've heard of that, right? They've heard of medical board certification and things like that. So it's more of a household thing that someone can understand and, understand that it's important to have someone with that higher understanding of how things work on their project as their designer or, as a peer reviewer, as an academic, whatever it is.
Karen, you wanted to add?
Yes, if I may. I'm not a board certified geotechnical engineer, but I'm a board certified water resources engineer. And I was on a project where I had two folks with masters in geotechnical engineering, and it was a dam project. We had a leaky 8,000 foot long embankment, lots of problems. But the person who really saved our bacon was the guy who was essentially board certified, who has so many more tools in his toolbox to use. And it really showed me the value of a board certified individual, because honest to gosh, that person saved the project for us, because our other master's person had a lot of experience in one narrow area, but this board certified person had a very broad range of experiences could bring forth and really help the client out significantly. So it really taught me the value of a board certified person.
Fantastic. I think that's all the questions from the chat. Those are all the softballs that I wanted to put to you guys so that we could do some little pitches here for some stuff. Now is where we get the more heavy-handed pitch here at the end from me. There are so many ways you can get involved as a GI member. We've touched upon a few of them here in the course of the presentation today. Nobody should ever say, I'm not sure how I can get involved in the Geo-Institute. You can sign up to review conference papers. We have a form on the GI website where you can do that. You can get involved in our student programs by being an advisor to teams or a judge in the actual competitions themselves. You can volunteer for one of our technical committees. And I always say, this is one of my favorite things to say, you must be sentient and you must be interested in serving to be on a technical committee, and that is it. And we would love to have you. There are so many different ways you can get involved. There's another way you can support the Geo-Institute as well, and we talked about this briefly, and that's by funding our student programs or helping to fund our student programs. We were very fortunate to have the $500,000 gift from the Brios last year. We're now looking to match that $500,000 in order to endow our student programs and effectively live off the interest. Do all the things that we're doing now and expand based on bringing in that money to endow those programs. The thing you're going to want is right here, the Ralph Peck bobblehead. $96 contribution for that, and one will be in your mailbox shortly after you make that contribution. We have t-shirts, we have special pins to honor Jean-Louis for his contribution. We have quarter zip pullovers for a $250 gift. There are a million different things you can get. GI is like the merch capital of ASCE, and we are very proud of that. So you can get to that page through geo-institute.org, which again is where you go to check out all those great volunteer opportunities that we have too. We would love to have you be a more active member of the society. And of course, check out those other YouTube videos that we've got. You made it here. You're here at the end, so you probably liked what you saw. So as we always tell you, click like, subscribe, and get notifications, and then go watch those 210 something episodes of Director's Cut after you watch this and enjoy them. Binge, everybody. So to the board, thank you guys for doing this today. Thanks for your service. We appreciate your leadership and all the time and effort that you give to GI. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. And that goes out to all of our committee members and volunteers and everybody who makes this thing run, period. So, does anyone on our board have anything else they'd like to add today before we shut this thing down?
I just want to add that we're here and we'd love to hear from you. So, please feel free to approach any of us, reach out, email. We're excited to be serving you.
A fantastic message to wrap up with. So thank you, Helen. Again, thanks to the whole board. Our producer today was Aurora Flieger. We will see you all very soon, Thursday, 2 p.m. with the NAVFAC DM72 live stream. Definitely get registered for that if you haven't already. And we will see you soon with another Geo-Institute live stream.